Have you been wondering why we're destroying the very planet we live on and jeopardizing our own future lately? We're supposed to be the most intelligent species ever to exist on the planet, but everything we create seems to endanger us and the world we live in. From climate change and the destruction of the natural world, to consumerism, billionaires, corporate greed, war, and now unchecked exponential AI growth. It just seems like everything we do brings short-term rewards at the cost of long-term consequences. And that longer term seems to be growing shorter by the day. It's just plain chaos. How is anyone supposed to stay calm and regulated, not to mention find joy, meaning, and even hope with the way things are? And what in the world can we do about it all? Our issues are complex, but it comes down to something very simple. People place blame on all kinds of things, whether billionaires, capitalism, colonialism, Republicans, Democrats, immigrants, the list goes on. But they're just the latest targets in a long line of scapegoats that get our ire and create divides within friends and family. They're symptoms of something deeper, but simpler. Some people think it's just human nature. It is, kind of, but it's not our true nature. It's an underdeveloped form of it. I'm Eric, and I've been obsessed with one question since the 90s, when global warming really started making waves in the news. Why are we choosing to knowingly imperil ourselves and the planet? Back then, I was just a kid who was worried about not being able to ski because there wouldn't be any snow in the Poconos if it got any warmer. But that question led me on a lifelong windy path. I now have a master's in cultural and psychological studies with a specialty in ecopsychology. And there's one important thing that's come to light in my studies and in my work. The real villain isn't any system or person. Our leaders and our cultures reflect our values, and our values are dictated by our level of maturity. Think about a 13-year-old. Status in the group matters more than just about anything else. They define their identity by how others think of them and how they want to project themselves. They have an in-group and an out-group, and they're focused on growth almost explicitly. Is that much different than the values that drive modern culture? We've built our human-made world from an immature value system and created a way of life that's essentially insane. We don't know how to hold space for our deeper issues. So these old principles drive our decisions. If we don't recognize that, then why wouldn't social hierarchy be our guiding force? It explains why greed and selfishness are seen as more responsible, even safer, than being empathetic and understanding. The world we live in reflects and almost demands that. Being emotionally responsible and recognizing our responsibility to others is more complex than being self-centered. It requires psychological development, but there's more to it. You can't just tell people to mature and hold higher values. That isn't working. There's another layer. That layer is, simply put, an awareness of our interconnection. Personally and culturally, we need to find that different level of connection. This is where ecopsychology helps us take a different turn. It uses methods that open people's consciousness, help them recognize the oneness of everything, find the importance of connecting with their feelings, and find their true gift or purpose. Once you find that, you begin to understand what you're here to do. Following it helps you grow into a wise, happy person who lives meaningfully. You recognize the brilliance in the diverse forms of life, human and other, and see the magic in the world you're in. That changes your values. You clearly see and feel how you treat the world around you affects you, as you're more aware of your feelings. This all changes your actions. Most people alive today live almost entirely immersed in this self-centered human-made world. Scrolling, working, stressing, repeating, just trying to make it through. Basic survival is getting tougher, as the self-destructive values this world runs on are undercutting our own future and the system itself. And while we engage with it on its terms, we know that we're actively maintaining a system that is growing more and more unstable. So what's the antidote? It's to quiet the narrator of this warped reality you've been raised in, to reconnect with yourself, experience wild nature directly, and open into a deeper consciousness filled with awe, wonder, and a feeling of belonging, and to find peace, calm, and clarity that helps you move forward, even when things feel lost. That's what our journeys offer. We help people journey not only into nature, but into a deeper level of consciousness. We offer ways to reconnect with what actually heals people and helps them grow into the kind of people we desperately need and they desperately want to be. And with mushrooms being legal now, we can help you get there in more powerful ways than we ever have. When enough people shift consciousness, the culture will shift with it. We can clearly see selfish manipulators for the immature people in need of help that they are, and why they don't deserve power. We recognize that more consumption is not progress. We still don't shy away from the tools and technology that help us with our mission, but the mission changes from surviving the system to truly living with joy, purpose, and meaning, and changing the culture with our one unique life. And it's grounded in something different. We naturally want to stop building a society that feeds on disconnection, consumption, and lies, and start building one that exists to accentuate our humanity. We're at the point where this culture and mindset could end life as we know it. Or we could be the generation that finally changes everything. It's time each of us values our own nature enough to step into a journey of reconnection. And that's why Evolve Wild exists. To reconnect people with their deeper selves, with wild nature. Being a kind, loving, creative human who brings their gift to the world is a more psychologically developed phase than simply following what society expects of you. It's harder only because it goes against society as it stands. It requires real inner work, strength, and friends who know what it means to help you on your way. When we do this work, when we clear out the old beliefs and heal our emotional patterns, our full loving nature shines through, and we can finally use our incredible powers as human beings responsibly. Helping you find all this, your calling, your purpose, the life the universe placed you here to fulfill, especially at this critical moment, and the profound joy that comes with this awareness is our mission. And it matters now more than ever, for both us and for you. The universe instilled empathy and love in us to balance out our incredible human powers. Healthy, mature people should not only be able to access that, but allow that to guide their path. We're ignoring all this right now. A lot of people think I'm naive for seeing things this way. I see it as our best hope by far. I don't know if we'll actually be able to make the change in time. The odds are long, but the help we have is powerful. Universal intelligence and nature are our allies. They only need us to stop what we're doing and live more connected with it and with ourselves, so we can allow them to do what they naturally do. This all inspires something else. Hope, purpose, joy, freedom, clarity, and peace. You're contributing to what will save us, not what's destroying us. Just knowing that makes a difference in how you move through life and how you feel. You can live knowing that you're doing something worthwhile, something worth dying for. I know that even if I die trying, it's a life worth living and work worth doing, especially now. You can find your calling too. I've seen it happen. If this resonates, me and my team host intentional journeys in Oregon. Schedule a call below or fill out the journey readiness form. And of course, subscribe if you want to go deeper down the rabbit hole.